Okay, so to create the full unit circle, we're going to start with the points that are on the axes. So our first point over here, because this is a unit circle, we're going to go to the right 1. So our x value is 1, and we're going to go up and down 0. Okay. Up here at the top, we're going to go up 1 and across 0, but it's always across first and then up and down. So our x value is 0, y value is 1. Okay. This quadrant over here is going to be across 1, but it's negative. So we're going to have -1, 0, and then at the bottom we will have 0 and then down 1, so -1. The first quadrant we did in the last video, please refer back to that. And then from there, we're just going to translate around the circle. We need to know, though, which quadrant has x and y values that are positive or negative. So if we look at the first quadrant, our x values and our y values are always going to be positive. We don't have negatives here. Okay. Second quadrant, our positives are going to be the y values, right? If we go up and down, that's positive, and our negatives are going to be the x values going to the left over here. Here at the bottom in our third quadrant, our x values and our y values are both negative. Okay, we do not have positives, so you can cross that one out. And then third quadrant, the positive is our x values and the negatives are the y values. So make sure you know which one's which. And then from there, all of the information is just going to translate around the circle. We just need to make sure that we have a positive or negative on the correct location. So looking at, let's say, our 30-degree triangle here, if I were to, that was supposed to be a different color. If I were to look at that 30-degree triangle right in here, and I were to rotate that using my patty paper to the second quadrant, I would end up at this point. So I get this triangle here. And so our point that we get is going to be the same in this quadrant, give or take a negative. Same thing if we use our patty paper and we keep translating this around, we'll get to this next one. So this point will be the same. And if we rotate our triangle again, we'll get over here. So this point over here will be the same. And so as we are rotating around the circle, our points remain the same, and we're just going to change whether something is positive or negative. So our first point here at our 30-degree angle is square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. That's going to be the same at this point because that's where we ended when we rotated our triangle. Same thing on this point down here, square root of 3 over 2 and then 1/2, and over here, square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Now we just have to go back and look at those positive or negatives. So in the second quadrant, our negative is on the x value, so we should have a negative here. Our third quadrant, the x and the y are negative, so both of these need to have a little negative on it. Okay. And then in our fourth quadrant, our y value is negative, so that would be there. Okay. And then same thing for all the other values. We're just translating the points around the circle and identifying what's positive and what's negative. So our 45-degree angle is square root of 2 over 2, and then square root of 2 over 2. That's going to be all of our halfway points. So here we're going to have square root of 2 over 2, 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 all the way around the circle. Now we go back and look at those positive or negatives. So second quadrant, the x value is negative. So we're going to make this first square root of 2 over 2 negative. Down here in the third quadrant, they are both negative. And then in our fourth quadrant, the y value is negative. So we're going to make that y value negative. Okay. And then the last point is our 60-degree angle. It's going to end up here at the top. So we're going to get 1/2 and then square root of 3 over 2. Down here, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, and 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Going back to check those positive or negatives, second quadrant, x is negative. Both are negative in the third quadrant. Fourth quadrant, just the y value is negative. And then you have a completed coordinate unit circle.